Teach not that I died in vain. Teach rather that I did not die, by demonstrating that I live in you, by demonstrating that I live in you. All right, this is a very beautiful and memorable passage from the Course of Miracles, doing these golden moments in the Course. And this, I call this one, Teach Not That I Died in Vain. And we'll see why. Well, I just sang it. I'm reading from this course, simply A Course in Miracles by Alao Alani. Alao Alani is my pen name. This is on Amazon if you're interested in ordering the book. I don't get much from it. It's more of a service, unless thousands of people started to buy it. But I appreciate if you do, and hope you find it helpful. Anyway, here's the passage. This is in chapter 11, and remember that the course is being given by this inner voice that Helen was receiving, which she understood to be Jesus. Was it really Jesus? Who knows? But it speaks with an authority and a wisdom that is hard to deny, and it's hard to argue with. So here we go. Teach not that I died in vain. You will not find peace until you have removed the nails from the hands of God's Son and taken the last thorn from his forehead. The love of God surrounds his Son, whom the God of crucifixion condemns. Teach not that I died in vain. Teach rather that I did not die, by demonstrating that I live in you. For the undoing of the crucifixion of God's Son is the work of the redemption, in which everyone has a part of equal value. God does not judge his guiltless Son. Having given himself to him, how could it be otherwise? All right, we'll go through it a little slower now. Talk a little bit. Talk a little bit about the deeper meaning. You will not find peace until you have removed the nails from the hands of God's Son and taken the last thorn from his forehead. Now, who is God's Son? God's Son is you. God's Son is me. God's Son is all of us. And there's that great saying, there's only one of us here, right? There's only one Son. We're all the one Son. I am another you, right? There's that in Lakesh. I forget what tradition is it. It's Mayan, right? I am another you. We are really one, masquerading as separate, but in reality, we are one. This is all a charade. It's all a dream that we dreamed long ago, and we're still dreaming it, and we still think that we're here. We still think this is all reality, and it definitely seems that way, right? Seems very real. When you're here in the world of duality, of the world of perception, it does seem to be more real than anything else, and we can't even conceive from where we are that there might be a spiritual reality. So that, with that being said, we're all God's Son. That means that we have to live in such a way that we do not continue to crucify each other, right? Where I do not crucify you, really it starts with you, right? It starts with me. It starts and ends, actually, right? This is all an inside job, and no one, there's no one else here, really, right? There's only your choice whether you're going to go forward on this path and see it to the end, not to the bitter end, but to the better end, right? Right. See it all the way through. And in order to do that, you have to stop crucifying, right? Remember that there's another great passage. I'm not sure if I read it yet. The Journey to the Cross. No, I did not read it, but maybe tomorrow I'll read it. The Journey to the Cross, where Jesus says, "Let the journey to the cross be the last useless journey," which means you do not have to crucify yourself. Jesus says, "I did not suffer on the cross. I knew I was not there. I knew that love is the only reality. I was in a place of total forgiveness, which means I was not judging or condemning anyone. I was just in the love of God. And I saw all my brothers as myself, even those who were persecuting me, even those who were crucifying me, I saw as the same loving self that I am. Teach not that I died in vain, but teach rather that I did not die by demonstrating that I live in you." This is like Jesus saying, represent, right? Represent. It's an interesting word, represent. Represent. Be in the presence, the loving presence that you are, even while you're here in your body, or as you seem to be here in your body. Represent that presence, right? Represent the love that does not even know of crucifixion, right? That does not crucify oneself, which means, what is crucifixion? Crucifixion basically is suffering. Did Jesus suffer on the cross? No. This is what the Course teaches. Jesus did not suffer because Jesus knew who he was. He knew that he was love, and love, being love, does not suffer. Love, being love, cannot really be crucified. In reality, love, being love, can never die. So he knew that he not only was he not dying, but he was not suffering either. Which means, if he could do that, then we could also do that, right? Because most of us are not being crucified like that. We may feel like we're being crucified in certain instances in our everyday life, but Jesus is saying, if I could be on the cross and not suffer, you can also do that as well, right? You're not any different than me, right? You just need someone to point this out to you, and that's why Jesus is doing that, right? Because he wants you to find the same truth that he did, because that's what love does, right? Love shares. Love does not keep things to oneself, because you think you want to get one up on your brother, but rather you want to share everything with your brother, because your brother is yourself, right? So we'll leave it at that. For the undoing of the crucifixion of God's Son is the work of the redemption, in which everyone has a part of equal value. God does not judge his guiltless Son. God does not judge his guiltless Son, right? God does not judge. God does not condemn. The Son is completely without guilt, completely without any need for condemnation or punishment, but rather the Son is a loving creation of a loving Creator, and the loving Creator is only love. There's no darkness whatsoever. There's no malice whatsoever in God. God does not have like a mean streak. God does not is not sometimes loving and sometimes not loving, but rather God is loving, totally loving. And God is not a person, as Jesus says. God is an essence, like a reality that is the only reality that we cannot even understand from where we are, because we think in terms of separation. But the words that we might give are oneness and wholeness and eternalness, infinite, unified, totally pure love without an opposite. Having given himself to him, how could it be otherwise? So God created us as love. That is our only reality. And that's how God created us. That's how we are. That's what we still are. That is all we are. So if God does not judge, then we have to learn how not to judge as well, right? To let go of the judgment, to let go of the need to see differences, to see separation, and to ultimately to see everyone as ourself. And in doing that, we remember our true self. We remember what we really are. So teach not that I died in vain really is just Jesus saying, represent, right? Represent what it is. In everything, in everything that you think, say, and do, don't let the ego take hold. Follow the way of love. Let love guide you. Let love lead the way, and it shall be so. And you will remember. You will remember your true self, right? As you do that inner work, as you do that practice. So Godspeed with that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Amen.